Greetings. What is the purpose of theological education? Theological or ministerial education is deeply connected with the mission of the church. At the ending of the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus proclaims that this is the function, this is the mission of the church, to go and make disciples of all nations. The question is how? What is the context in which this takes place? The ending of the Gospel of Matthew gives us clear instructions of what theological education is and how does it take place. First and foremostly, the disciples followed Jesus' instruction to go to Galilee where they would see him, where they would encounter him. And fundamentally, theological education is a place where we encounter the voice of God. In actual fact, the word church means exactly this. The word church, ecclesia, means this: the called out ones, the ones that have heard the voice of God. And as the disciples encountered Jesus, they worshiped him. And that's in essence the context of theological education. In adoration, we encounter the voice of God. And this is then what Jesus said. Jesus said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me." And ultimately, theological ministerial education is where we encounter the lordship of Jesus and where we surrender to him. He then says, "Go and make disciples of all the nations." Well, the question is how? Two things that Jesus mentions. Firstly, he says, baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. When we read that literally, this is what it means: immerse them in the knowledge of the Trinity, within all the rich, glorious truth of who God is. And then he says, go and teach them everything that I've commanded you. Theological education is where we encounter not only the voice of God, but the lordship of Jesus, where we are immersed in the knowledge of all of who God is, and that we hear his words so that we can teach others what he has commanded us. And then Jesus ends and he says, "Behold, I will be with you." Theological education is marked by the holy presence of God, not only now, but up to the end of the age. And it's this kind of theological ministerial education that can indeed change the world for the glory of Christ.